Right, welcome back everybody, it's Firemice here, and yeah, we're gonna go on with some more Scum tips and tricks. This is probably gonna be either the second last or last installment in the tips and tricks series. I'll keep the videos updated with new information as best as I can. As new stuff gets released, I'll try, and if it impacts one of my videos, I'll try to update the information in that. But yeah, the final place basically is now, the final thing really to talk about is once you've now played Scum for a bit and you've gained a lot of fame, you have loot, you want to store your loot and all of that. I mean, the first thing people do is they tend to claim bases. And the concept behind the base might be a good idea, but in reality, the way that bases have been implemented in the game, well, that's not so good. That's problematic no matter how you look at it. I feel that locks in general are very much luck based. Somebody that has a lot of lockpicks and somebody that can cover them, especially if you're not online, they will definitely get into your base. If he maxed his lockpicking skill, he'll have 4 seconds per try to pick your lock, and eventually they will get in. They'll just run through a lot of lockpicks maybe if they're struggling, but you won't keep them out. Locks won't keep them out alone. They will definitely get in. And then there's obviously the other thing of, you know, the cost of actually claiming a place and fortifying it up. Alright, so I've come to B1 Town to look at some of the buildings here. Now obviously there's a lot of options that you have. You can claim a single story house like this. It's not bad, but it does have 2 doors already. So to do 1 door, 100 fame to claim it, 200 fame per golden lock. So if you were to claim this specific single story 2-3 room house, you would need 1400 fame basically if you wanted to lock both doors with 3 golden locks. Then you still have to get all the metal scraps or resources that you need to build these fortifications onto the windows and stuff like that. So yeah, that is going to be obviously expensive. Farming 1400 fame is not quick, nor is it easy. So I mean, but that is one option. You can also look at a building like this. This will be even more expensive because you'll have 2 doors once again. You'll have that door and you'll have this door. And obviously now you have a lot of windows. Now you might be thinking to yourself, yeah, but I don't need to fortify the top windows. You absolutely do have to fortify them. People find ways to get onto the roof of a building, and if they're on the roof they can drop down to those little awnings that are there, and once they're on that awning they can get through the roof, through the windows, so you absolutely have to. The same counts for this house over here. If we look at this place, you might think, alright, sweet, we have this 2-story building here. But once again, you have 2 doors. You have this door, that's 1400 fame. You still have to board up all the windows as well. This room as well is pretty cool. There is no window, but if you lock this door up as well, you can have some important boxes stored in here where they can't access it. Now once again, that's another 700, so now we're looking at 2100 fame if you want to do that. And then you have this room here with this door that you also need to lock. Now I'm going to show you why specifically you need to lock that door to prevent people from getting in. Don't make the mistake of thinking, yeah, but it's on the 2nd story, there is no way for somebody to get up there. Because there is also always a way. All you need to do is find it. So if I come to this door here, I can get onto this door. I can then get onto this roof. From here I can get onto this roof. And from here I can just simply run down to this balcony, open the door, and I'm in your house. Now all the fame you spent at the bottom of this house means nothing. And then once again you have to board up the windows, make sure that nobody can get into it. So it's a lot of resources, a lot of time, a lot of fame that goes into it. So those are your options really for houses. Some houses will be better than others. If you can find a place that has 1 door and as little as possible windows, that's good. Defending a place that has only one window though is obviously going to be hard. You only have one direction to look at. So yeah, I don't like claiming houses. I don't recommend that anybody claims a house, especially in a town. People come to towns all the time to look for cars, look for metal scraps, etc, etc. So basically it's a matter of time. They are going to find it. They will find your base. Maybe they'll come here when you're online one day. You'll be able to defend it, but you can't be online 24 hours a day. It's not possible. So they will find your house, and eventually they will get into it, and they will take whatever they want out of it, and you won't be able to stop them. That's just the way of it. The second option that you obviously have if you want to do a base is, and that's the main reason why I did come to this town, is you can obviously look at a church. Now, a church is very nice for one specific reason. It does have windows, but you can't fortify them. There's no need to fortify them. Nobody can climb through them. Let's just sprint to this church. And it only has one door. Ah, come on. I'm not in the mood, bro. Don't do it, dude. Right, you did it. I'm not in the mood. Now, how many of your friends did I call over with that? Oh, there's one coming all the way over there. Whoa. Oh, brother. Lots of zombies coming now. Alright. Screw them. I'll get them when they get outside. Alright, so like I said, there's only one door. Nobody can get through the windows. However, they can throw grenades through the windows. But you have lots of places where you can actually stand and shoot from to try and defend it. You can build shelters inside here, stand on the shelters to look through the windows and fight through the windows. You have a tower that has high ground through this window that looks over the town. You can also go up to the second story over here and then look through these windows. Once again, nice clear view and all that. Now, the same thing still applies. This might be cheaper to do than any house that you could possibly do, but it will still be expensive. It will still be hard to defend if you're not online. The door for the church is going to cost you 300 fame points, so you need at least 1,000 fame if you want to fort up this church. And once again, it's just a matter of time. And once you're offline, even if it has 3 golden locks on it, they will get in, they will take your stuff, and there'll be nothing you can do to stop them. So, but a church is a good building, especially if you're a big group of people that basically there's a lot of you online, you're all on the same WhatsApp group or whatever, you can let each other know if you're being attacked and everybody can come and help defend it. Then, I mean, you might be able to keep a church safe in a town for a long bit, but yeah, they'll definitely quickly discover your locked church if you do it in a town. Now, if you look at the map, the menu is going to block it, but down over here where my mouse pointer is right now, there is a church that's not in a town. There's a couple of them around. So obviously living outside of a town is going to be a lot better. There's less chance of discovery, but once again, it's just a matter of time until somebody finds your base, and if you're offline, they'll get in. So I'm going to show you guys quickly an example of what I think is a good base location. I'm going to cut out and drive there quickly, and when I get back, we'll continue the video. So I'll see you guys just now. Alright, welcome back. So I've driven up the map to B1 at factory. Alright, and now this is what it basically comes down to. There's only 2 real ways of keeping your stuff safe. Alright, the one way is to hide your stuff in the jungle. You don't have a base. You have a bunch of storage boxes hidden in a rock. I'll show you guys at the end of the video how to do that. That's probably going to be the most secure. And yeah, but if you want to claim a place, you want to have a door, you want to have locks, you want to spend fame on that, then claiming a place in a mech controlled area is probably going to be the best. You want to claim a door that the mechs can see in their patrol line when they patrol, but that still gives you a gap to get in and out of your base. Alright, and that's the reason why I came to factory. Now you can pick any mech controlled area that has doors in it that is claimable. If you can figure out the mech's routine, you can claim one of the doors in there and make that your base. Obviously, try to pick a place that is not a obvious place for somebody to go and look for loot crates and stuff like that. So, I'm going to show you a place in the factory. It's up to you guys whether or not you want to use it. Personally, I've never used this location. I just know about it. But it will be up to you. So the mech in this area does walk past this door. I don't know why the mechs are not walking now. It's very quiet, in fact. It seems like all the mechs are stationary. What is going on? No, the mechs are not moving. He's standing over there. I don't know why he's not moving. But anyway, he patrols from up there, walks down this pathway, and then into this little bit over here. And he doesn't go far down, so he walks to about roughly where the stairs is and then turns around again. And then starts walking back to where he is standing now. And then he turns around again and walks back. So it's not like a long gap, it's like, I don't know, maybe 20 or 30 odd seconds that you have. And the places that we're going to look at is going to be behind me. I just want to open this door real quick. You see there's some loot crates in here and stuff that you can even loot in your own base. But what we're going to look at, the doors that we're going to look at will be these doors over here. Alright. These are little toilets. There's nothing that spawn in them, as far as I know. Some gloves, you can search the toilet for metal scraps and stuff like that, but nothing serious, nothing that somebody is going to risk his life for to get in here. So there is this little storage room, but we're not planning on taking this storage room anyway. But there is this little storage room. Now you can eventually obviously own all three of these doors. Have separate boxes in all of them. If they get into the one, they don't get all your stuff. I've already built like a couple of boxes in here. You can see that I built some. They're all empty at the moment. And basically all you have to do is this door only costs 100 fame to get it, and then you can just fill it up with golden locks. So 700 fame later, you have a pretty solid defendable, well, not defendable, the mech defends it for you, location. No windows, you don't have to spend any other resources on keeping this place safe. It's just, I think it's a brilliant little base location if you can keep it a secret. Like I say, nobody really runs in here to loot. There's nothing that spawns in this. This other door at the back here is also claimable, although this is 200 fame. It gives you another little space to store stuff in. People will probably open this to search this table, but I mean, once again, there's nothing that spawns here that's really worth risking their lives to get. You know, even in the storeroom, there's nothing that really spawns in here. So there's really no need for people to come in here. And that is what you're really looking for. And like I said, you can claim multiple doors here. Have them all locked up. So for 1,400 fame, I know it's a lot. But I mean, the first door is only 700. And then you can work towards it again. So, yeah, absolutely, it's more than worth it to try and find, you know, places like these to store your stuff in, build your boxes in. If somebody was to try and lockpick, I don't know what's going on with this mech, but if somebody was to try and lockpick this place, you know, they would have limited amount of time. The mech can see them as soon as he comes past this concrete corner here, and he'll be able to see them until he about reaches this spot in the road here where he turns left. So if they're hiding behind the building, say over here, they need to wait for the mech to pass all of that to there. They can then run in here, stop here, try to pick the lock. He's going to turn around, so by the time he turns around, they need to start running back again to hide here. So they'll have limited amount of time to pick the lock. It's going to be really dangerous for them to do it as well. So your gear should be relatively safe in this little area. But they can still get in, they can still take your stuff. So I mean, it's up to you guys if you want to risk it. Like I said, it's just a matter of time. Once they find your base, it's just a matter of time. You can also look for places that are less likely to be looted, mech controlled areas that are less likely to be looted. Obviously not all mech areas are great loot spots, so you can try and find one of the quieter ones to build your base in. But yeah, so if you really want to do it, the mech can be your little guard dog. Just careful, he'll bite his owner. But yeah, so I'm gonna show you guys my last tip for hiding your stuff, or you know, your base. And when I get there, I'll bring you guys right back in. Alright, welcome back everybody, and we are now at the last part of our little video. This is gonna be basically how to hide your loot without using any buildings or stuff like that. I should probably tell you that this will be fixed eventually. It's not supposed to be this way. I don't know, you can call it what you want to call it, but yeah, this is gonna be the best way, in my opinion, to hide your boxes. Alright, there's two ways. The first is you have to find one of these rocks. This is what we call our little glitchy rocks. They look like stones, you walk on them, they feel like stone, but when you build, the environment doesn't treat them as a stone or a rock. Alright, so if you look at this, you can see that I can slide this box right through this rock without it going on top of it. And if you were to construct a box in here, you just stand close to your box, press tab, and you will be able to access your box, put your loot in there, and then nobody will be able to see it from a distance. However, if they do run over it with their inventory open, they'll be able to find it. Alright, so this is one way of doing it. It is the least secure way of the two rock methods to hide your loot. Like I said, use it while you can. This will definitely be fixed in the future, guys. It will not remain this way forever. But hopefully when they do fix it, they'll also fix lockpicking so that it's harder. The second rock that you can look for is a rock like this. Now, if you run next to this rock counts as a real rock. There's nothing wrong with it. You can see in my inventory, you don't see any boxes at this rock whatsoever. If you try to build a box here as well, you'll see that the building sees it as a stone that's there as well. So you can build on top of it and stuff, but you can't go in it. Now there is a way to do this, and this is basically call it a glitch if you will, but if you crawl on here, you'll be able to see straight through the rock, just like this. And if you craft, then you'll see that you'll be able to place a box on the inside here, just like that. Alright, and as long as you can see the boxes like this, you will be able to access them as well. So you'll be able to hide loot in there. Everybody, if they want to find boxes like this, they're going to have to leopard crawl into every single big rock that they do find. So this is just another way to keep your loot safe. You can find these rocks all over the map. So you can basically have your base anywhere you really want to. You can just find your favorite loot spot, find a rock nice and close to it, and hide your boxes like that. Nobody's going to be able to find them unless they're specifically looking for it. They need to know in which area you were and all of that. So the chances of that happening is really low. And that way you can keep your loot safe and secure. So yeah, I hope that you guys find this useful. Just a short recap, basically what I said. Lockpicking involves a lot of luck. I don't think currently claiming doors and putting locks onto them is the safest way to secure your loot. People, it's just a matter of time until they find a locked door, and after that it'll be just a matter of time until they get into your base and take your stuff. In my personal opinion, if you want to claim a door, you want to put locks on it, you want to play the game that it was meant to be played with the lockpick and all that, I suggest claiming a door inside a mech controlled area. The mech never goes offline, he'll always be in his area. There are ways to get around it, which, I mean, if you're playing solo, it's really hard for a solo person to break into a base that is mech controlled, right? If you're playing with a friend, then yeah, it becomes a lot easier to break into a place like that. One guy can distract the mech while the other guy picks the locks. So it's more secure, but it is absolutely not foolproof. But if you really want to play the game with claimed doors and locks and stuff, I suggest you do it in a mech controlled area. If you just want to keep your stuff safe and you want to use some of the, I don't know, let's call it bugs, if you will, in the game that still exist, early access, then hiding your boxes in the rocks is going to be the answer. I mean, it's going to be really hard for people to find your stuff like this. I lived in this area for a really, really long time, and nobody found my boxes inside these rocks. Like, nobody. And I was living here for a really long time. So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys find it useful. And yeah, if you liked it, please drop a like on the video. If you're new and you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe. The support really helps. Trigger the bell notifications so that you get notified whenever I upload new content. And share the video with your friends and your family. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Cheers.